there we go. All right, terrific. And in fact, I am going to mute everybody out. Okay, there we go. And then Eric, you can either unmute yourself or I can go back in and unmute you. Okay. Hold on here. There we go.
Unmute. There we go.
I just unmuted you.
You beat me to it. There we go.
Hello, Eric. Welcome. I'm so excited you're here.
Hi, Cherise. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Eric, I want to introduce you. First of all, this is my team, and I'm streaming it live into one of my groups as well. And at the last conference, we had a chance to speak and sit on one of those white couches during rehearsal. And you brought up something that really opened my eyes, and that was obviously you're the VP of compliance. And so we were talking about compliance in these Facebook groups. And I think that today, as we know that we have to tighten up compliance in Facebook groups, I wanted to invite you here personally because of the fact that you know everything there is to know about compliance and you are the person. And so I want everyone to hear it from your voice, how we can actually take this toothpaste and shove it back in the tube. That's what I feel like we've done.
Yeah. Well, I think first it's important to understand how dangerous it can be to have a closed Facebook group where people feel like they can say anything they want to say. Unfortunately, one of the scariest moments we've had in compliance was not in the U.S., it was in Australia. There was a Facebook group of 6, and one of the 6 got angry at the others. And so she turned them into the TGA, which is the equivalent in Australia of the FDA in the US. So we got notice from the TGA that there were non-compliant claims being made on Facebook in Australia. So we immediately worked to shut that down. Then what happened is, as we were searching around, we grew to know that there were a few closed Facebook groups in the US as well that had grown to enormous sizes. And so understanding understanding why people are doing what they're doing. They have personal experiences that are true. And so they think if they're personal and true, they should be able to disclose it because they have freedom of speech. Well, in the US, freedom of speech stops at the door of commerce. When you're trying to make money in a business, you do not have freedom of speech. And particularly in our industry, both the FDA and the FTC limit claims, what we call disease claims. Protandim and our other dietary supplements are not drugs. And because they are not drugs, we cannot make disease claims. So that's the simple truth. And the rule is actually this: you cannot state or imply that Protandim, for instance, treats, mitigates, cures a disease or a symptom of a disease. So we have a training video that's in your back office, and I've sent you a link. I've sent you instructions on how to have your group get to that training. It's at you get to the back office under communications, then library, then compliance, and then it's there at the bottom now because we've added about 15 other sources there under the compliance tab. But it's the training at the bottom. And then if you go 2 or 3 slides up, we've broken the training video down into the component slides so that if you look at the training and you enjoy it, but you want to review it, it's better to go back to the slides to review what you can and cannot say. But we cannot make disease claims. That's the simple fact.
So Eric, you just said, Protandim does not mitigate or prevent any disease. And, that whole statement, I feel like people have been very comfortable in stating. And I feel like people feel that as long as they say that, it covers them. Would you please go over that?
Yes, I will. No, it does not fix it. You can put it before, you can put it in the middle of, you can put it at the end, or you can put it in all 3 places. It does not fix a disease claim. The regulators, who, by the way, would search under search terms Lifevantage, Protandim, and any disease. They would put those in and they would go gung-ho. Now, they find most claims, and we do that 24/7 ourselves. But when it's a closed Facebook, it's harder to find. Thus, people become overconfident, and they say things that, truthfully, they wouldn't say otherwise. And so they say it, and so it's this festing. It's a growing disease. Actually, it's a growing sore that just gets fuller and fuller and fuller until it's popped. And we just hope it doesn't pop in the face of the FTC or the FDA.
So inside of these groups, would you please explain how a distributor is actually liable? So we understand the seriousness of this.
Yes, thank you. One of the more recent cases that the FTC has brought against our industry was against Advocare. And what they did with Advocare is not only did they sue the company, but they sued 4 distributors, 3 top distributors and 1 middle of the pack distributor personally. So they essentially bankrupted all 4 distributors because the fines were in the millions. And so it not only affects the company going forward, it affects the individual distributors, leaders, and others. And so that's why we have such an urgency now to get all of the bad stuff taken down and replace it with good strategies. There are still things that you can do to draw attention to how effective the products are. In fact, one of the most successful phases of Lifevantage ever was this most recent Elite Academy where we launched the NAD and the Tri-Synergizer. That's tremendous, and there's everything out there that we're hearing and seeing is compliant with the NAD Synergizer. So use that, and that will help you grow all 3 products, and that's fabulous. You can also go back, historically with Protandim, we had tremendous growth. We had 100 million year growth 2 years in a row when we used a simple strategy, and it was we used the claim, which is appropriate. It reduces oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. Back in the time when Dr. McCord was here, and he and I talked often. Just before he left, I asked him, there are all kinds of claims being made. This is 4 or 5 years out. What's the most significant thing anyone can say about Protandim? And he said, it reduces oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. He says, there's nothing more powerful that you can state about the effectiveness of Protandim. So we encourage everyone to use that claim. That can be used and use it. It's very effective. And then what we did after that is we're developing this with marketing. We're developing and revisiting some of the things we did in the past and developing new techniques of illustrating what oxidative stress is. A rotten apple, rust, those kinds of things, because they illustrate well what can happen through oxidative stress. Then take people to places where oxidative stress can be discussed. Don't discuss diseases, but you can discuss Protandim and you can discuss oxidative stress.
Okay, so that's where I want to start, because right there, people will say, all right, if we talk about oxidative stress and we take them to pubmed.gov and we show oxidative stress in the search bar, and we find 200,000 articles that link oxidative stress to hundreds of diseases.
That's right.
Then can we ask the person to type in anything else with oxidative stress so that they can make the connection? Let's just say, what are you interested in? Does heart disease run in your family? And they put in the search bar oxidative stress and heart disease and see the connection. We're still in compliance by doing that, correct?
Well, not really. We're close. You can say Protandim, you can say oxidative stress, but you can't say disease. You cannot connect them to any disease. You cannot lead them to the water. What you can do, you can lead them to the water, but they have to drink. Okay.
So we can say, okay, oxidative stress,
yes,
and anything else you'd like to research with it.
Exactly. And here's the point. Remember that telling your story is important, but nobody cares how much you know unless they know how much you care. Show them how much you care by letting them discover what they're looking for, not what you have to tell them. Skip that step of telling them. Just let them go discover for themselves, and you're totally compliant.
Okay, so I have something I want to read to you that we changed around in one of our groups, and because there is this fine line. I want to know what we can say. If someone is giving a testimonial and they're excited about the results that they receive from it, taking all the disease states out of it, would this be compliant as an example? Okay. Let's see. Thanks so much, Julie, for sharing Jordan's story. So exciting. He's on Protandim Axio ProBio. For those of you who have known this gorgeous child for many years, he has suffered from speech impairment, motor skills, sensory, and comprehension issues. I'm proud to announce he is improving greatly. Would that be something that would be okay?
No. And
okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
And this goes back to the simple rule. The simple rule doesn't just state that we do not cure, prevent, or treat a disease or a symptom of a disease. We cannot state or imply a disease or a symptom of a disease. What you have mentioned here is symptom of a disease, and you've implied that it will cure. And by the way, I'm glad you bring that up. When people watch our training in the back office, everyone to the person goes away from stating it clearly, but then they go right into the implied. In other words, and then they hit us with a dozen ways of implying. And we have to say no, 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 and no. You cannot state or imply that it treats, mitigates, cures a disease or a symptom of a disease. That's why the simplest approach, which can be very effective, is have them search for what interests them without saying anything. I promise you, they will go where you want them to go. And you don't have to do a thing. And more important than that, when they do it, they duplicate what you've done, and everybody remains compliant.
So how does someone give a testimonial, a personal testimonial, and keep it compliant if they've had tremendous results? Can it just be, I mean, I know there's a list of energy, sleeping better. There's a list that we can go through. But that's it. I mean, we can't start from this was my experience before, this is my experience after, except for I'm enjoying this and I have more energy, correct?
That's right, that's right. And in the training, it will explain what you've just said. That's called a general wellness claim. I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. I take that from my book selling days, okay? That's how I felt every morning. So you can make general wellness claims. You can also make structure function claims.
Okay.
And we had a list that was more extensive than it is now of structure function claims, which means you can talk about how it maintains your cell health. It maintains your cell health. That's what we call a structure function claim. And we're developing a more extensive list of structure function. So you can always make general health claims and you can make structure function claims. And we'll provide, along with marketing, we're extending the tools that we have that you can use.
Okay, so I have given advice in the past, which is this, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, is that if you go into the actual, if you go to the website, lifevantage.com or any of our websites,
yes,
you pull up the product and the PDF forms that are in that product that actually explain everything. There are some fantastic verbiage that I wouldn't even come up with, that I'm thinking this is exactly to use.
And that's your very best source of what you can say.
Okay,
take what has been generated from the company and published, and you can use those things.
Okay, terrific, because I think that's exactly where we start. Now, in the past, you have explained, let's go back to implication. You have explained that in the past, some people have used the little yellow pill. So we're not saying the name, we're using a little yellow pill. And you said to me, well, Cherise, if I say the little blue pill, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I do know, right? Everybody knows. And so explain that implication, please.
Well, what it is it's a formula. You substitute little yellow pill for Protandim. And that's fine until somebody, again, like a closed Facebook group, discloses the formula. And they say little yellow pill equals Protandim. And then, and here's the danger of little yellow pill. People begin to be comfortable saying stuff they shouldn't say if they were using Protandim, but they can say with little yellow pill. And so it gets awful. The claims are awful. They're egregious. They are strikingly, they're not implications. They are straight out disease claims. Why? Because you substituted a little yellow pill for Protandim. Anyone breaks that formula and we're toast.
So
That's the problem.
my question to you, Eric, is how do you sleep at night?
Oh, yes. Hey, I sleep at night thinking of new and exciting things to say because I feel healthy, I feel happy, and I feel terrific because I'm on Protandim.
Exactly. Okay, so this is people could be, I think that's the key is I think that really where people get stuck here is that if I am feeling fantastic, why can't I say it's my personal story and why can't I give you my results? And is it because of this? Is it because if let's say, okay, let's just take a disease. Let's say Alzheimer's. Let's take dementia. Okay,
Yes.
that's a disease state. And you say, well, gosh, after I took Protandim, my memory has gotten back. Well, how do you know it's Protandim? Is that the reason why? Because you don't know exactly if it is Protandim that's done that.
Yes, but again, it's the implication.
Okay.
It's the implication that gets us most of the time. It's not that, by the way, in closed Facebook accounts, it is the statement. People are bold and they state that it's personal and true, so they tell it all. And again, I'm not saying don't talk to people about what Protandim can do. I'm just saying reverse the order. Let them discover what Protandim can do for them before you talk to them about what Protandim has done for you. You can get quite a ways with that because there are all kinds of things they can discover on their own if it's been introduced correctly, because again, you want them to do it compliantly too. So you can't even bend the rules. You have to be straight on, no statement, no implication. And the way you do that is you change the focus away from you and your story to them and their story. Let them discover their story and go from there.
I like that. Definitely. Sharon Dominguez is asking a question here. Can you say I started reducing my oxidative stress?
Yes, you can make claims about oxidative stress because, in fact, that's the claim we can make. It reduces oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. The best claim we can make. Yes.
Okay, terrific. Okay, well, and I think that is incredibly powerful and understanding now it used to be that no one understood oxidative stress. Now it's become mainstream. So now people are thinking it's not as powerful because you're just reducing your oxidative stress, but it's the root to everything.
It is. It is. And nothing reduces oxidative stress at the rate that Protandim does. What a claim.
What a claim. So Eric, let's shift now into monetary claims. And let's talk about, I really feel that here at Lifevantage, people do not run around making income claims like I've seen with other companies, but let's shift to that focus and what is acceptable within income claims.
Okay, 2 words. You can say supplemental and you can say leveraged. And that should get you most anywhere you want to be. What do I mean by supplemental? We do not replace people's income. That's where we get into trouble. When we talk about passive income, when we talk about do nothing and make all kinds of money, you can be fabulously rich, that's where we get into trouble. But you can use, it can supplement your income. Use supplement all the time. It's great. It's healthy. You can also use leveraged. Leveraged is how we make money in direct selling, multi-level marketing. It is not what we call residual income. Residual income is when you make an investment once and you get income for the rest of your life. That's residual. Leveraged income is where you make money through the efforts of others. So leveraged is in fact accurate, and passive or residual is not accurate. So use leveraged and use supplemental because it does supplement your income and you're safe all around.
I like that. Okay, so if we have the income disclosure statement, which we do show
Yes.
when we're eating, as long as we state that, I want to be clear with something. Okay, so I'm a pro 8 in the business. If I show that income disclosure, and I can just say, I don't go around saying what my income is. I think it's weird. I think we're the only industry, if you walk into your dentist, you're not asking your dentist how much money he's making. But we can imply, okay, I'm a pro 8 and we show it. And this is the average income of a pro 8.
That's right. That's
I
right.
mean,
You
it's
can,
pretty simple,
yes,
right?
yes. We can make. You can talk about the money you make as long as you put it into context, and that's the value of the average annual income disclosure, because what it does is put whatever you make in context, and that's what's important here. So use that always whenever you make whenever you make an income claim.
Okay, I like supplemental and leverage. So we can truly say that we can help supplement somebody's income.
Exactly. That's a very healthy thing to say. And every time you're tempted to say passive or residual income, say leveraged income. That's more accurate. That's exactly, it's making money through the efforts of others. That's what leveraged income is.
So with some of the other companies that actually got shut down, this was the problem, correct? This was mainly the
Yes,
problem with the
yes.
income.
Most recently, the problem has been, although they've cited some product claims, most recently, Advocare and Nerium and the others were in trouble most of all, well, for other things as well, but for their income claims, yes.
Okay.
Just don't make it sound like it's easy. Lifevantage distributors typically do it. They represent it well. You know, you can make tremendous amounts of money here, but it ain't easy, okay? You have to work hard. You have to be dedicated. You have to be committed. So always be true in those representations too.
The next time we give a presentation, we'll say, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Don't you want to
Yes,
join
yes.
us? This is torture.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. What else would you like everyone to know about this when it comes to income claims? Anything else?
No, I think what supplemental hits more than most, okay? Because people tend to want to say, stay at home mom, you see, replace your income. All of those kinds of gotcha phrases are not, they're not only usually not accurate, and that's what the FTC has a problem with, is that people are making representations that are very rare as if they're mainstream. So again, that's the importance of putting the statement with it, the average annual earnings statement. So the most important thing to do is to use that every time you make an income claim, but use supplemental and use leveraged every time you think of residual, every time you think of passive, and every time you think of stay at home, replace your income. Use supplemental and leveraged with the average annual earnings statement, and you'll be safe.
Okay, terrific. So instead of scaring everybody, okay, because this is a topic that, in fact, I'm sure whenever anyone sees you, they walk the other direction. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you. But what I'm saying is this, instead of scaring everyone, this is the deal. What was very hopeful in all of this is that our company, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, really takes action to stay in front of all of this. And so that we are taking action to clean everything up, to make sure that we are making that effort. And as long as they're seeing that we are in effort to do so, that makes a big impact, correct?
Yes, yes. And not only to protect the company and its existence, okay, but also, as you indicated, to protect each individual distributor, because in the last lawsuit from the FTC, again, they went after the company and after individual distributors, both the top and the middle distributors. So no one's safe when we're not compliant.
Okay, terrific. Now, we're getting a lot of questions here. And so there are certain little statements. I like this one, Jennifer. Can we make the statement only natural product to extend healthier longevity because of the study, or to extend life?
Well, longevity, remember that the study on the mice was a study on mice. So you have to keep that accurate. It was a study on mice, not on humans, okay? So make that, and all natural is a term of art. You can't say all natural, because Protandim is not all natural as the term of art goes.
It's not all, what do you mean?
It's not all natural has a certain term of art definition in nutrition. And Protandim is not an all-natural product by that definition. So you can say natural, but you can't say all natural.
Got it. Okay. So then as long as we say it's proven to extend life in mice, we're okay.
Yes, yes.
But we can't
because that's what is substantiated by the study.
Okay, so we just can't say proven to extend life.
That's correct.
Because it could be any life then. It has
That's
to be
right.
life.
That's right. That's right.
Gotta
And
be-
the implication is it extends life in people.
Okay, terrific. Let's see. Let's see. Can we show studies on oxidative stress? Yes, we can.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, before and after pictures. Can we show before and after pictures? Then let's just take, we can do that within our products with hair, right? The hair care products. Can we do that?
Yes. Yes, as long as they don't imply that it cures baldness, for instance. Okay. We had to take down certain pictures that got out there early after our hair product was introduced because they didn't just imply, they stated that it grew hair. Okay. And remember what the structure function phrase with hair care is, it improves the appearance of. It improves the appearance of fullness. It improves the appearance of thickness. It improves the appearance of. That's the key word, like supplemental and like leveraged is to income. Appearance of is to hair care and skin care.
Okay, so that's what I'm liking. So giving us those little catchphrases that we can use.
Yes,
We're
appearance
talking
of.
about skincare as well. The appearance of. Now,
Yes.
what about losing weight? What about people that have lost weight with the fat burner?
Well, you can always, but again, they have to be typical and true. And so anything that shows something that is atypical isn't usually accepted unless it can be substantiated. With weight loss, always remember that to include it with exercise and good nutrition. Okay, because products by themselves typically do not, have the overall effect. You have to do it in a healthy way. Thus, the nutrition and the exercise.
Okay. So,
and the before and after, if the before and after picture represents that that everyone that uses this will lose 50 pounds, that is not typical. That is not average. That is atypical and non-average. And so so you can't do anything that is atypical.
Can you say not typical? Results not typical,
yes,
and you would be covered?
Yeah, you can't make a statement through a photo that you couldn't state otherwise.
Okay.
So a photo can be, a photo can make a statement, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So a photo can make a statement. And remember, if it's typical or average, you can show those photos. If you use any photo, though, I would always accompany that with verbiage on nutrition and exercise, because every weight loss that is successful is accompanied by nutritious eating and good exercise.
Right. Okay. So we just can't say that taking the fat burn improves the appearance of the beer gut.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, so we have also some questions here about, we have some before and after pictures about the skincare, and we're talking like real dramatic. And I'm not just talking about wrinkles, I'm talking about maybe a major skin issue. And so they have been resolved pretty much by using inside outside, but that again, we just have to keep to, it improves the appearance of the skin.
That's right, exactly. That is definite. And it's very clear and simple, appearance of always. Because otherwise we're implying that it cures diseases.
Terrific.
And with skincare, you can make structure function claims, but you cannot make disease claims. So anything that represents a disease claim with skincare, you cannot make either.
Okay, so what other little catchphrases can you give us besides the appearance of? Of course, we have supplemental and leverage. What other catchphrases? We know oxidative stress. What else?
Well, I mean, those are good ones, and there are more coming out on the skincare, because there are some distributors that are being very creative with using their terminology about replacing the appearance of with my skin appeared brighter, my skin appeared, and so instead of the appearance of, it was appeared bright, it appeared. And so people have been very creative, and we're pulling those together, and we'll get some tools out again with marketing. And again, go to marketing. They've been they've gone through regulatory and legal reviews. So on the website, anything that's there on the skincare, you can certainly use. So I would recommend people go to the website and milk that for all it's worth.
Okay, and then people can email compliance, correct? At any time.
Oh,
Just
correct.
ask any
Yes.
question
Yes.
and you guys get right
Yes.
back.
Yes. Yes. And I would encourage you too to continue to go to the back office and look at the tools that are there, because we're gathering historic data and current data and the best we have, and we're updating everything so that the best is going to be under compliance in your back office for these kinds of claims.
And I also believe too, Eric, in what you're saying with these little catchphrases of the appearance of, listen, it's in the way that your enthusiasm sells it,
Exactly.
when we're talking to one another. I think where a lot of people are getting a little worried about, it's not going to be as powerful when somebody's reading it, if it just says the appearance of. But like you said, especially within pictures, those are examples of structure function. The structure function examples are only the before and after, correct?
That's right. And here I would turn your attention to most of your cosmetic advertisement on TV, radio, otherwise. They're under the same restrictions we are. So look there, because you'd be surprised how creative they've been in placing or replacing or adapting the appearance of. So go there and look at what your favorite skincare, your cosmetic, for instance. Go there and look at what they've done. Instead of making claims, they make the appearance of claims, and they do it very creatively.
Excellent point. When we were at Elite Retreat, that was brought up, is that we're one of the only industries that are kind of lagging behind in all of this, because, it is a litigious society and people are suing everyone for who knows what kind of claims. And so we're lagging behind. So this is just bringing everybody up to speed, right?
Exactly.
Okay, terrific. Let's answer a couple more questions here. We can only say oxidative stress, right? We cannot mention Nerf 2 or Nerf 1. Good question. We have many before and after skin issues with animals. What about Nerf 2? I am Nerf 2 activated. What about that?
Oh yeah. You can talk about Nerf 2. You can use that instead of Protandim. Nerf 2, Nerf 1. You can certainly use those terms. You can use Nerf 2 with oxidative stress, because that's the Nerf 1 is more along the line of energy and mitochondria. The Nerf 2 is along the lines of oxidative stress. So you can use Nerf 2, you can use Nerf 2 Synergizer, you can talk about biohacking, you can do all of that.
Okay, Eric. So we had a very long conversation one time, because I made a post of, I am Nerf 2 activated. Are you? And so underneath, I had to take the whole thing down. It was crazy. There had to have been 1,000 responses on what people experienced because they were Nerf 2 activated. But it was implications like crazy. So that is not an easy way to get around. Yes, I'm Nerf 2 activated. It's still, you have to remove implications.
That's right. And it's kind of like talking about oxidative stress. You can use oxidative stress. You just can't link oxidative stress to diseases. You can use Nerf 2, or Nerf 2 activated. You just can't link that to diseases, which your comments that follow did. So the one is appropriate, but what follows is not. We just need to learn to state what we want to state and not connect the dots. And again, let them connect the dots. Don't you connect the dots. And here's the reason why. If you connect the dots, or even subtly connect the dots, they do it, and worse, when they duplicate it. So remember that what you're stating will be duplicated, whether it's good or bad. So do it the right way, and then when it's duplicated, no one will be in trouble. Everyone will continue to turn the focus on other people, and what their interest is will be successful in communicating by turning the attention to them and not keeping all the attention on us.
Okay, so now you just brought something up. Cellular health. Obviously, it's a very general statement, okay?
Sure.
It's, cellular health, and we're getting to the root because we're talking about cellular health. Yes. So we can talk, and is this an implication about cellular health and getting to the root of most diseases, or no?
No, you can't. No. So you just connected the dots to diseases. Yes. You can talk about cellular health and let them go. See, again, there are all kinds of things you can say, just don't connect the dots. And you know what? When you state what is appropriate, people will go to the right place. Just don't, you let them connect the dots. Don't you connect the dots. Because anything you're going to do is going to be duplicated and then some.
Okay. When we very first started out 9.5 years ago, or 10 years ago, we were only talking about oxidative stress. We had one product. We were talking about cut an apple open and look what happens. And we did very well doing that. Let's go back to the basics.
In fact, we had our most substantial single years, 2 in a row. We grew $100 million each of those 2 years using those techniques. Let's go back to what took us where we are.
Okay, so Nancy has a question here. Nancy Bryan, can we state I am NERV2 activated to optimize every cell in my body?
Sure, that's fine.
Oh, I'm liking that one, Nancy. Excellent.
Yes, good job, Nancy.
We're going to have Nancy write a bunch of little tags out for us.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Just do not connect to diseases or symptoms of a disease.
Okay, so here we go. I'm with you, Sharon. This is fine line here. Can we say oxidative stress is linked to over 200 diseases?
What do you think?
That's no.
That's correct.
But we
See, it's really easy when you think about it. When you think about it, you know. Everyone knows. They just keep knocking at the door. They keep knocking at the door with implications, implications, implications. No, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. Why? Because it implies diseases. In fact, it goes beyond implication. It mentions diseases.
Yes.
And remember, they're search engines. When regulators, just like us, when we search for inappropriate, we search for protandum and any disease or any symptom of a disease. That's what the regulators search for. And when they find it, we're in trouble.
Eric, I'm kind of laughing here because I mean, this is serious stuff, but I'm about ready just to say nothing and just smile, you know?
Yes. And let them discover for themselves what it can do because they have a history, they have a concern. And instead of having them go through your concern, let them go right at their concern. Yes. Save a step.
Okay. Now the ABC primetime video, we've used that from day one. We know the company can't physically use that, right? Because it wasn't made by the company, but we use it all the time and we're okay using that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's been a most effective tool.
Okay. Terrific. Oh my goodness. Does anyone else want to ask anything that hasn't been discussed? Oh, it says what? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, this is a good one.
Cherise.
Protandum NERV2 increases glutathione by 300%. I'm going to say no.
Yes. No, you can say that. No, that's part of a study. That's part of a study.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Terrific. I'm excited about that. All right. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask you? Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Carrie Conti.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for being here. This is really, wow. Amazing. A lot of great information though. Can you give us an example of something very clean that does not connect the dots to someone who is interested on how you would guide them to drink the water if you lead them to it?
Well, again, one of the best sources for people to discover for themselves what goes on is PubMed, because it has the studies, okay? And the studies are appropriate when they're placed appropriately, okay? One of I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. The DSHEA, which is the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, allows for scientific studies to be discussed. They just have to be done separately and apart from marketing. And most people combine them. They use a study with their marketing. That's not allowed. Studies by themselves are allowed. That's why I would go to our websites and how we separate scientific studies from marketing. You need to always separate the two out. What you're talking about is the result of, so PubMed is a good place to go because it talks about the studies and the results of the studies. The mistake that people make is they go beyond protandum, oxidative stress, and they connect the dots. I'm not saying don't connect the dots. Let them connect the dots. And I'm telling you that that's the best way to do it anyway, because if you connect the dots, not only is it non-compliant, but they're having to go through your stuff before they get to their stuff. Save a step. Let them go to PubMed and investigate their stuff. Not only is that compliant and something they can duplicate, but it gets them there saving a step. It gets them to where you want them to be faster. We keep inserting ourselves in there and causing problems. Let them go and discover for themselves. And if you do it right, when they talk to their friends and family, they're going to do it right too.
So if I say, if you go to PubMed.gov and you investigate oxidative stress,
yeah,
and I can make the claim that we reduce oxidative stress by 40% on an
exactly.
average of 30 days,
exactly.
Why don't you go investigate it with, can I say, your own health issues, or no?
Just go there and say, yeah, and I wouldn't say health issues even. I would just say, go there and see what that means to you. Go and discover what that means
that's great.
to you. Go
Got
there
it.
and
Thank
discover
you.
what that means to you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes.
So if there's something used in a study then, because if we can use Protan Nerve 2 increases glutathione by 300%, then we can possibly say something about joint health, correct?
No. Well, again, you can use glutathione like you do oxidative stress, because glutathione is because it's been scientifically proven, but you can't connect it to curing a disease.
Okay.
So don't connect the dots beyond that.
Okay.
And there are a few of them. Catalase is one, glutathione is another. I mean, there are a few things that the studies show that you can use, just don't go beyond that.
Okay. And that's powerful. I think what we have to really focus on is how powerful what we can use.
It is. So there's some powerful things we can say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, terrific. Eric, you have been so incredibly helpful. We so appreciate all that you do for us. And like I said, I don't know how you sleep at night with hundreds of thousands of tongues going out there like crazy, because we're so excited with what this can do.
I only
Cherise,
take
can I ask a question?
I only take one Nerf 1 in the morning, and that so that by the time 10 o'clock rolls around, I'm really sleepy. If I took both Nerf 2s, both Nerf 1s in the morning, then I couldn't sleep at all.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've connected the dots on that one, Eric, so I don't know.
There we go.
That's the implication. Oh my gosh, there are so many questions come in, and what I want to encourage everyone to do is this, is that if you're really confused about something that you use all the time, please just email compliance. Eric, is there a certain email that they should compliance? It's just compliance@lifevantage.com?
Yeah, just compliance@lifevantage.com. You might put in the subject matter, question about product claims, product claim question. Put that in the subject line, and that will give us an idea of what you want to discuss.
And then what I would suggest is that within that, when we find little tag phrases like what you said yes to on Nancy's line, I'm going to go back and get that, Nancy, it's excellent, is really stick to those. Use them over and over and over.
Yes, yes.
Now, and the one other thing I keep thinking of is that we've been doing this for 10 years. There is so much on the internet because of the use of these phones and cameras and everything else. What I suggest is, or actually, I'm going to ask you this. How can we go on there if we didn't put something up on the on YouTube, but somebody else did, like a presentation of us? How do we even get that down?
Let us know, and we'll we'll take it down. Let us know, and we'll take it down.
Terrific. Okay.
Let us be the police. Yes, that's what we do.
That. Okay. There may not be anything left on YouTube of me, Eric. I'll just say that.
There will be. All of the good stuff will be left.
Okay. Oh, I have a question then. Maybe that's what we work with someone at compliance to actually go through and Google the person. If you've done a lot of presentations, maybe Google the person and say, okay, what is compliant and what isn't? And they can just take anything down that isn't. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, terrific. Eric, you have been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. This has been fun, Cherise.
Well, and I appreciate everything you do for us. So thank you to you and your whole team.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Eric.
Bye.